Hey, what's up guys? Hinkgo here again. Looks like we've landed on the Butcher. And the Butcher is really strong against comps that are unprepared, but he can actually be countered pretty well with a bunch of CC, like stuns, roots. The thing about the Butcher is a lot of people still don't realize for some reason he's got a thing called Butcher's Brand. Deal 37 damage is level 1. Deal 37 damage to an enemy and brand them for 4 seconds. The Butcher's basic attacks against the branded target heal for 75% damage. You can actually talent in to make it better. So if he puts the brand on you, you're supposed to run. A lot of people don't, so you're going to basically be healing yourself up. And since it says basic attack damage, your basic attack damage gets increased with a trait called Fresh Meat. So the way this works is you're going to kill minions. Each time a minion dies, he drops a piece of meat, what it looks like blood, a little blood droplet. You collect 125 of them, then you're going to be you're going to get this reward. It says Butcher gains an additional 100 attack damage and 25% attack speed, and no longer loses fresh meat on death. So that's one of the downsides about this, is if you do die, you happen to lose 10 of your meat. I believe if you kill a hero, yeah, right here, if you kill a hero, it says they're going to drop 5. So if you talent into this talent here, what is this, Abater? It'll decrease the amount of meat lost on death from 10 to 5. And also, once you're done completing your 125, you don't get any meat anymore. But if you kill a hero with this talent, you actually continue to gain the bonus attack damage. So that's pretty nice. It helps pretty much make you really, really strong late game. But usually I like to choose between block if we need a lot of... it's pretty much between these 3 talents here. That's the way I look at this. What's this one do? Hamstring hits hero, half the mana's cost. Who cares about mana? Block's really good against people that do a lot of auto attacks like Raynor or Vala, someone that can hurt you quite a bit. Chop meats, I usually take this if there's absolutely no pushing on our team. So this is just going to help you get your quest done faster, plus help push the lanes faster. And if none of these are the talent I want to pick, I usually go with this. That way I can get that bonus after I complete my quest. But yeah, enough of this talking. Let's go ahead and jump in to the Butcher. Looks like we landed in the Warhead Junction. I noticed they had a Butcher Abby combo, so he's probably going to go Symbiote build and boost the Butcher and make him really dangerous and really hard to kill. Alright, for our team, we have Illidan, Murky, Li Ming, Tassar, Butcher versus the Kael'thas, Varian, Abathur, Butcher, Nova. So, we got a little, I think, if this Murky is pretty good, we probably can outpush Abathur. And if he goes Symbiote build, it's definitely going to go outpush him as well. If this Tassar is on point with his bubbles, I mean, Tassar's been nerfed a bunch, but we might be able to get some heals, so that's pretty good. As a matter of fact, their Abby is going push build, at least in the beginning anyway. So Butcher's our biggest threat, Varian's will be a big threat, so we're going to go with block right off the bat. Plus it helps against Nova's auto attacks later on. Looks like they're having a little meet up in the center. We got to be careful here. Butcher's going to come charge. Nova's there as well. So we just want to get up in XP as much as possible. Abby's in our lane. We'll just go ahead and stop this right here. Okay, which one is it? We'll go ahead and charge and take it out of the picture immediately. Just so we don't get to take that extra damage. Eventually they're going to send someone up here to help counter me. Might be a Nova. Nope, she's still in the center. Butcher went to the bottom. It's a pretty good idea for Butcher to go to the bottom versus Murky, because if he can get those Murky kills, he's going to get his meat stacks up really fast. So we're just playing it safe, keeping an eye on the mini-map. He popped on tower for a moment. I also don't want to get too close and get chased back by their Nova. I see your mines over there, buddy. I'm actually not going to go over there at all, just so you know. Never once plan on being that close to your tower. So Nova's still center, interestingly enough, so no one's trying to stop me right now. Abby's just soaking the XP with his Symbiote. Go ahead and kill it. So each time you kill it, it's got a small cooldown. Then you don't gotta worry about the... I might want to rotate. I'm still debating. We already lost 2 people from a Nova. They must have been too aggressive down there. I do not think we're going to get the bottom nuke. I'm going to try and assist with this one. I don't want to die because I don't want to lose my stacks, but we definitely want to try and do something with this. So we'll just go ahead and try and get a kill in. They're going to get the nuke. It's unfortunate. We might be able to get a stun kill in if she comes to try and use it. So we're going to go with a little bit more burst on this one. We're going to go with cheap shot. Anytime you stun somebody with your E, you can get 100% increased damage on your Q. Looks like they're still challenging. Okay, we got to fight here because we're getting attacked by everybody. I've got my brand up so I can get heals. She didn't get the kill, sadly. Gotta be careful of the Nova. Alright. I don't want to go to the bottom because Abby's pushing top pretty hard, so I'm going to go up top and counter that. Otherwise, you're going to be down in XP a lot. Just missed the Nova, too. Let's check. He actually is going symbiote build, so they definitely are planning this. Go ahead and charge this, try and take it out immediately. We didn't have our Q up, so we didn't get the 100% damage, but still less XP for him. That's even if our guys even die. So our main goal is just to try and get our stacks up as soon as possible. We can get our stacks up before the other enemy butcher gets his stacks up. It's going to work out pretty nicely for us. I probably shouldn't have hit that one. Oh well. I was gonna say I probably shouldn't have hit it too close to the what do you call it, the towers, but I did. And if it's like this right here, I want it, but I don't want to get hit too much for it. There was a health globe up there, that's why I went over to it. Alright, for this one, I'm thinking Butcher Spell Shield might be pretty good. I'm just actually going to go with more healing, just so I can stay in the fight a little bit longer. They still have yet to send anybody up here to stop me, which is a good thing for me, but also psychologically kind of dangerous, because I'm going to feel too comfortable up here, and I'm just going to keep pushing. Is he really right here? So he definitely baited me really hard. He set up a lot of mines and walked right through there, which, fool me once, fine, but I'm definitely not going to fall for that again. I'm going to slam, next time it does it, I'm going to slam my Q into it, kill as many mines as possible, and then if he's still there, I'm going to charge him through it. So he was planning that move for a while, which is good. It's a good counter. Now I gotta be careful, I got low health, I don't see the Nova on the screen right now. Butcher's still bottom, not too worried about them. I'm pretty much just playing a solo game right now, it seems like. See if he's setting up his stuff yet. Set up a couple mines. Okay, so we've officially got the ammo out of this, which is really good. We'll just go ahead and chop it down. I don't want to take too much damage from those minions in case they do get swapped on. There are 2 nukes up here. Okay, she actually showed up. So she's definitely gonna... I'm just gonna get closer to this, that way she has further to go to run away. Okay, she's actually channeling the other one, so we actually can get this one for free unless Abathur somehow shows up. Or she can make it over here super fast. Doesn't look like she is going to. Now, I'm just gonna kind of hang out. Maybe, there she is. Alright, this was highly unfortunate. We're gonna try and shoot our nuke off. We were 100% baited into that, and we paid for it dearly. Yeah, I don't think 1v1 Butcher, my Butcher versus his Butcher with an Abby hat is not going to be good at all. He went mana reduction, interesting. Mana reduction, he pretty much wants the slow, he's going damage and healing. So that death cost us, I think, like 10, what was it, 10 of our fresh meats, so we just gotta continually play safe again. So we're getting outplayed right now. I don't know what you guys want from me, man. trying to push us back. Abby's chilling up here. Okay, Murky's coming up, take it up, so I will be more than happy to give this lane to Murky, as long as someone's soaking this Abby XP. Alright. Go ahead and back it up a little bit so we can get our blood closer to our tower. Or our fresh meat. I call it blood because it looks like a blood droplet. So he said taunt, so Varian went tank build. So they got a really strong build right now, a really strong team. Nova's hanging out here, it looks like. We can actually come and kill her. It's called payback. We're actually going to slow him. And probably shouldn't target him, but we're already here. We don't want to attack into his parry too much. He's actually not going to make it. Kael'thas left. He probably could have stayed and traded with us for a little bit. So since Butcher's got a like right now I'm at almost 4k or 3.5k health, so I'm gonna go with Savage Charge for the Varian because he's got increased health at level 10. So pretty much any tanky targets, you'll do 10% increased damage to their health. Nice burst. Murky's getting surrounded up there, but he only costs a quarter death, so it's not that big of a deal. 98 out of 100. I want to get my stacks up. Just want to keep on stacking. So is he going to chase him this whole time? I might be able to... Oh, they got double butchers. We could just kill this butcher. He's got brand on me, so I kind of want to run. I don't know whose brand that was, the other butcher or this butcher. So he's probably dead. Oh my god, are you fucking serious? Walk right into me. Took half my goddamn health away. Made no sense at all. I want to get to bottom. I also want this blood. I need to get my stacks up if I want to compete with that butcher. So it looks like we're gonna might have a little Abby butcher versus a Li Meng butcher. If I can get my silence up before he gets his brand up, that'd be pretty nice. Matter of fact, we can get the somehow he interrupted me. So he's running. I don't know how he got out of the... Is there a tower over there? I do not know. I got 4 seconds before I can charge. 3, 2, 1. I'm gonna charge in. He's dead. Apparently 2 unstoppables. Somehow the first unstoppable hits it at first. I don't know. It doesn't really make sense to me too much. So we gotta be careful here, guys. He's just back. I don't want to stay in that too much. Get this little health globe. What are we at? 114? Okay, so for this talent, we can go extra the slow, basically have slow longer. We're gonna go ahead and go with this actually, because we know we're gonna be trading with the Varian and a Butcher. So pretty much what it says is basic attacks against enemy heroes grant 5% increased attack speed for 3 seconds up to 25%. So basically we're gonna be attacking a lot faster, which is gonna help our brand, heal us more, etc. They're all up for the boss, so we gotta be very careful here. Here they come, actually. So this is not exactly what we wanted at all. Thankfully we didn't lose the boss out of this. Lost my meat stacks. So it was a very risky play. Thankfully it worked out for us. Unfortunately I had to lose my stacks and die for it, but if their whole team is up, getting the boss is a toss-up, because either we're gonna get the boss, fine, they're never gonna show up, or they'll show up like they did. They showed up kind of late because we got the boss done, but if they showed up, let's say mid-boss or something, all of us are half health and they're all full health, they'll come and wipe us and take the boss from us. So it's a very risky play. I went in because my team was in. If I wouldn't have went in, the same thing would have happened. They would have showed up and wiped my team, and I wouldn't have been there to do anything about it. But like I said, unfortunately, I had to lose some stacks for it. Now I want to actually focus on my stacks. I only need about 20, what is that, 26 more? I'm going to go up top because I need to get these minions, and these lanes are pushed way far in thanks to this Murky. It's not a bad thing, it's just a little trickier for me to get my stacks now. Looks like they got an Abby up here. The thing about Abby is, you know how close he is depending on that bottom bar. So this bottom bar is about half, so he's probably either right here or further back. If it was further down the line towards your base, and they had the bar full, that means he's really close to your base. So we got 10 seconds on that nuke. I'm more concerned about the stacks. I'm gonna get my stacks. Hopefully I don't get jumped in this process. So each mini waves gives you 7 stacks, so there's 7 minions. This might do it here actually. I got my stacks complete and I am not worried about stacks at all anymore, and I can play a lot more safe. Murky's getting a nuke, we'll go ahead and get this. Hopefully no one stops us. There's still a nuke at the bottom. Nukes are important, don't get me wrong. Later the game goes on, the nukes will become even more powerful. But I wanted my stacks, that's really important for Butcher. And we might get this keep out of it, so that's really good. We're just going to keep pushing, we can't make it down to the bottom in time. So we got 2 camps, a Murky and a Butcher pushing this. So chances are they lost the keep. We may lose a fort down there, but a fort's not that big of a deal. Alright, I'm going to back now. Murky can do what he wants, he's Murky. Okay, so this is where Butcher evolves. Nexus Blades, you deal 20% more damage and you slow them by a whole bunch. So I'm actually at the point where I feel comfortable soloing a boss. We'll go ahead and show you how to do it real quick. We'll basically just charge in, take as much damage as possible. Why are we calling retreat? Is Abathur up here? I don't think so. So basically I take about all that damage and then I can just heal it right back up. I don't know why they were calling retreat on me. I don't feel like I was in any danger. Just gotta make sure for this boss in particular, try and not be there when those things explode. So just walk through them and then you should have no problem. I could definitely solo this boss, as you can see. They definitely came and helped, so I'm not too upset about it. Not sure what the retreat ping was for. We might be able to kill his Butcher. We have Lambs of the Slaughter. He's going to charge in. I'm going to charge in as well. I'm going to silence him. He can't get his brand up. Somehow he got his heroic up. We killed him before that happened. So it's looking really good for us right now. We could core here, actually. This is a, well, maybe. I just thought it was 20 minutes in. 15 minutes in is, we got any nukes with us? They have 2 nukes. Not sure what they're planning on doing with them. I see the chick sitting there. We'll just let the boss tank it, see what happens. And if we feel comfortable going in, we'll go in. I gotta be careful of that nuke. Alright, I'm actually gonna go core. For the most part, I think we got this in the bag. I'm losing health by a nice margin, but I know if I die, that boss is still going to be there, so we did really good in the end. I think Murky did really well. That's probably the reason why we did win. We got baited a couple times, but overall, we did really good. Testar seemed to be got MVP, so he did pretty good too. Let's see our stats. So let's see, Murky did 139k siege, died only once, a whole bunch of XP. Murky did really well. Our team as a whole died really low. Damage wise, Butcher's damage was pretty low, but I was trying to get that Abby stuff going off, so I was on the lane a lot. Illidan did really good, everyone did really good. I don't really know who to give it to. Give it to Murky. Normally with Butcher you're going to have a lot more damage, and it's really dependent on team comps, whether you do good or you're not do good. But I was focusing in the beginning a lot on preventing the Abathur from out-leveling us. And the Murky finally came up and traded with me, so that's why I have so much siege. But you're going to get okay amount of siege in general when you play the Butcher, just because you have to get your stacks up. But damage-wise, they were all really close. So it was about 20k, 20k, 22, 22. So just me staying in the lane a little bit gave them a little edge. But we were all within. Like, these guys were definitely doing really good as well on damage. Let's go ahead and check. So their Butcher combo, that 25% attack speed from Abathur, is pretty scary. Like a good Butcher. I don't know what build he was going. I don't think this was the most ideal build. But he's probably had success with it. Definitely with an Abby hat on. 25% attack speed's really strong. The double Butcher was a little scary. Abby didn't go full Sambo build, so that could have hampered the Butcher at that point. But he definitely wanted some pushing against the Murky. We'll go ahead and talk about the build real quick, what I did and why I chose it. I went with block simply because they had a lot of attack damage dealers and stuff that I wanted to I want to take, you know, 75% less damage from them for at least 2 shots. Level 4, I went with cheap shot for that increased 100% increased damage on my Q. Level 7 was a kind of a toss up. I could have went in for that spell shield against like a I'm thinking of a different match. I went with Insatiable Blade on this one. Yeah, earlier we had, I was trying to record this video earlier, we had, basically it was me as the only melee, and I think I had like a Medivh, and it was a very bad comp versus all ranged classes, so I had to go the Spell Shield, and we got, it didn't work out. One melee, that's the Butcher versus a bunch of spell dealers, isn't so good. Anywho, I went with this extra healing, goes from pretty much 75% to 100% healing, so let's just keep myself alive a lot more. Both these talents are really good. This one does a ton of damage, and this one basically almost guarantees a kill each time. You just got to make sure you land it, because there's a second delay. And it also silences the enemy too for 3 seconds. So you can pretty much go in and pop all your stuff and get a kill for the most part, and they can't do nothing about it. If you can kill them within 3 seconds anyway, that's another thing with this cheap shot for that extra burst. Level 13, pretty good talents here. I went with this because they had a Butcher a little tankier. The Varian tank is pretty tanky, and Cleaver is pretty good for like minion waves and clearing, so Cleaver would pair well with Chop Meat for that 100% increased minions damage. On top of that, you're cleaving now, so that's pretty good for pushing. You don't really want to push too much with Butcher, but it definitely helps to get your stacks up really fast. Let's see, also that slow is really good too. After using Hamstring, the Butcher's next 3 basic attacks within 15 seconds deal additional 50% damage. This is what I actually went with on the map we just played. But there's a slow, I think the other Butcher took. Where's it at? That's the length. Yeah, crippling. This is pretty good to keep people locked down more often, because your basic attacks do anywhere between like 500 to 700 damage depending on what talents you took and what stacks you got. So keeping them locked down for longer is really good too. Actually, I think I went with Savage Charge here, and then I went Blood Frenzy here. So basic attacks against enemy heroes increased each time you attack them, up to 25%. Simple as that. Level 20, all the talents are really good. You can silence the whole enemy team. You can get a second explosion. You get, this is what I usually go with for the most part, just so I can catch the enemy, chase the enemy down, and beat the crap out of them a lot more. And then the Bolt is good for escaping, but if you're the Butcher, you don't want to escape, you just want that fresh meat. So that's pretty much Butcher in a nutshell. He's very comp dependent. Like, if you go against a lot of CC and a lot of stuns, you're going to have a horrible day. Earlier, I went against a whole bunch of range classes as the only melee. I had a horrible day. But if you got, like, we had a mixture of melee and range here, so we actually did pretty good as a team overall. So if you want to take Butcher in, like, Hero League or something, make sure you have somebody to go in with you, or definitely a lot of support for you, because once you're in, you're in. There's really not much you can do. And Cleanse has definitely helped against like stuns and stuff. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this quick look at Butcher, and yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one.